Hi, I'm Tamitha Scove with your solar storm forecast for the week of January 4th. Welcome to the new year, everybody. Now, I'm going to begin this forecast by recapping what happened just before Christmas. Back around the 20th, region 2241 let off a series of large flares and launched several earthward-directed solar storms, 3 of which actually hit Earth partially. And that caused some gorgeous aurora festivities, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. But since then, the sun has been really quiet, and all we've really gotten is a few partially earthward directed wispy solar storms like the ones you see right here that's been circled, and it's really kind of hard to tell when they're going to hit Earth because they're so slow. But regarding flares, it's actually been very quiet until just recently when we finally got our first M flare in over a week. Switching to our M flare threat meter, you can see the last big flare we got was back on the 20th, and then we've been kind of riding through low-level flares pretty much until the 27th. We got one that popped over the M flare threat level, but then it went quiet again, and we haven't seen any real flare activity until the 3rd, when we're finally beginning to see the activity rise again. Switching to our proton radiation storm levels, you can see we actually did get a little bit of a rise in proton radiation levels just before Christmas with some of those solar storms that came through, but they've stayed really low, and we haven't really seen anything since. Switching to our solar storm levels, you can see we actually did get a decent solar storm coming in around the 22nd that prepped us for Christmas. And then because of some fast speed wind, it continued to be unsettled conditions. We had another storm that came in right around the 30th that brought us prepared for New Year's and gave us some gorgeous aurora lights pretty much all the way through the holidays all over the world. And you can see from the model pictures here, the aurora have been on and off all over the world over the past couple weeks. And I've been getting so many pictures being sent in to me, and I have to thank everyone who sent pictures in that you've taken or that your friends have taken. And there's just so many of them that I just can't show them all. But I thought I'd give you a beautiful holiday retrospective so you can see just how gorgeous and varied the lights have been over the past couple weeks. For example, we had rainbow aurora in Norway, gorgeous greens in Finland. We had stunning aurora in Russia, as well as aurora that was so bright in Edmonton you could see it over the city lights. There was a marriage proposal by the lights in Ireland, gorgeous pillars in Denmark, and in Iceland it was just a stunning green display. We also had aurora of all different types in Canada and the Yukon, red and green corona in Alaska. We had magenta pillars in Wisconsin, and peekaboo aurora clear down as far south as Colorado. And Wyoming, we had red, almost sunset-looking aurora, and also aurora in Tasmania that's purple and blue. So absolutely stunning displays all over the world. So what else does the sun have in store for us this week? Well, this is stereo A. It's our backside monitor. You can see here's Earth, here's the sun, and here's stereo A staring at the sun from behind. And you can see the sun has actually been pretty quiet this past week or so. There's been a little bit of filamentary ejective material out here down south, but other than that, everything's been pretty stable, except for old region 2241. That has actually shown signs of eruption, and it's slated to be back into Earth view in about 6 days. Returning to the disk, you can see regions 2251 and 2253. Those are the fast-growing regions, and they're the ones to watch. 2251 is kind of calmed down a little bit, but 2253, it has already given us an M-class flare. You can see that delta region right there in red. It's close to those blue regions, so that means that there's a lot of instability there, and it could be the player that will give us more M-class flares in the days to come. Outside of that, we have to wait a few more days for more activity to rotate onto the east limb. Looking at our solar storm conditions and aurora possibilities over the next few days, we are expected to get hit by a high-speed solar wind stream any day now, so we're expecting to have active conditions, and NOAA is giving us about a 40% chance of a major storm at high latitudes with about a 30% chance for active conditions at mid-latitudes over the next couple of days. Now, we don't have any solar storms that are Earth-directed that are on their way, so we expect these conditions to maybe die down towards the end of the week. Switching to our solar flare and particle radiation storm outlook over the next few days, because of region 2253 and its new magnetic instability, and because it's already given us an M-class flare, NOAA has upped its M-class flare risk to 30% over the next few days, and we do expect that the risk for radiation storms will also increase as that region rotates to the west limb over the next 3 or 4 days. So this week looks like there might be an uptick in some solar flare activity. So you ham radio operators and you emergency responders, expect you might have a little bit more radio blackouts than normal. Also, we aren't expecting to have any solar storms hitting us as of yet, but we are expecting that incoming high-speed wind, which could cause more unsettled conditions and possibly storm-like conditions up at high latitudes. So your GPS might be slightly affected, especially at high latitudes, but also expect to have some possibility of more beautiful aurora like what we've seen over the holidays. I'm Tamitha Scove. Thank you for watching.